the object of persecution by the government, you see. There's a type of yoga called Falun Gong. And the practitioners, they go to the park just like you see in Delhi. I don't know about Hyderabad. I used to see people coming and doing, like this postures and standing one foot and so on, even laughing. Is there such a thing as laughing yoga?
Laughing therapy.
Yeah, but therapy. But Patanjali never promulgated it, no? Or so they similarly in China, just for standing in the park silently, they were being persecuted. So many of them fled to the United States, and they're pious people, good, intelligent people, and they have a website. I think there's no harm in my telling you. It's called Epoch Times, and there's some very good articles there on world events and borderline spiritual topics also. So that's an example that in Kali Yuga, even in India, which is supposed to be so religious, you hear, as I said, publicly some person is interviewed and they say, no, we're not religious, it's a way of life. This, going to holy places and celebrating Ram Navami and Janmashtami. They say, no, it's not religion, it's a way of life, see? So things are deteriorating, they're denying, they're ignorant. So this is so significant. We should be vigilant, not to just practice the rituals, but to understand the meaning, the purport of these festivals, and especially with those who have children, they should inculcate the correct understanding. It's not sentimental. Your children should not grow up thinking, yes, I'm a modern IT professional, I have a job with a great big company, and yes, I attend these Hindu festivals, but that's just tradition. No, you should not allow your children to become like that. You have to understand yourself and teach them that this is reality. What do the materialists have to offer, actually? What is this? I've said before, all this IT, what do? They're called engineers. What do? They make software. And what is the use of that software? As I said, now they're building huge automated slaughterhouses, and to be controlled by computers. Oh, where does the software come? Is your son, your cousin making that software without knowledge? I heard that the Boeing, what was it, a few of them crashed a few years ago.
737 MAX.
Huh?
737 MAX.
77 MAX.
737 MAX.
Max. The software for controlling the engines and aeronautics was made by an Indian company. Is that good? Because it's cheaper for Boeing to get it done by Indians, because they can pay less for salary, and they set up a big office building somewhere near Hyderabad or some other city, and they make one airplane costs 777 costs $300 million. Can't even imagine. So they're interested in money, for the sake of money, they do business without regard to ethics and morality, and the result is that people become entangled in the web of karma. So we should understand to avoid these things. And again, the world is becoming so that it's very difficult to avoid. It seems the only way to avoid is completely to get out of these so-called high-tech fields and learn the technology of growing vegetables. And the people don't know how to grow vegetables. So when the supermarkets in the United States became empty because of some electricity failure, or the lorries and the trains stopped, there were no deliveries, the people were fighting. Not on a big scale, but I've seen arguments in the supermarket. Somebody has got some rolls of toilet paper with COVID, and somebody is fighting that you have taken all the last rolls of toilet paper, and they're fighting. So they're fighting over vegetables, or maybe don't know what they're eating. Maybe they're going to eat that toilet paper. Cellulose, at least it has fiber value. I don't think so. Anyway, the idea is that the present world is being governed, being led by demons. They have their demonic idea that there's too much population in the world. Well, some scientists, honest scientists, say no, the world can support several times more population than it has at present. Prabhupada also said the world can support 10 times the present population. It's 50 years ago, but it's not so much difference. But these demonic leaders, they call us, people other than themselves, they call them useless eaters. See? Useless eaters. That means they consider them a burden. You know, what is their position? They have not created the world. They have not created the trees and the vegetables. Who are they to say that some segment of the population is useless? They are demons. That's their. That is the explanation why they speak like that. Demonic. So they are trying now, to reduce the population. They're encouraging scientists who are corrupt scientists, who are prostituting themselves by saying whatever their sponsors want them to say. So these scientists are saying that the world is heating up too much, and we'll all die. So we've got to reduce this. And so it is due to burning petrol and due to plants that they're producing carbon dioxide and is forming like a shield around the earth, and the sun rays are coming down, but the heat is not going out because of this shield. So this is their theory. It's completely a lie because the carbon dioxide does not do that. Carbon dioxide is taken in by plants, and the plants produce oxygen, which is very nice to breathe. We breathe oxygen. So the plants are like our partners, but they ignore reality, and the people are not educated. Even in elementary school, they're being fed lies, and the textbooks are telling lies. So they say, you see the global warming, you got to stop it. So they want to reduce cultivation. You should not grow vegetables or trees, cut the forests. This is their plan, and they're doing it as much as possible. Especially in some countries where the government is very corrupt, they influence them. In Brazil, the Amazon forest is very like jungle. There's no jungles in India now. Are there real jungles? Yeah. I would like to see. Maybe there are some, but a lot of the trees have been illegally cut, isn't it?
No. Chitrakoot, Madhya Pradesh.
There is one National Green Tribunal looking into it now.
Where?
National Green Tribunal, NGT.
I can't hear.
National Green Tribunal. National Green Tribunal is looking into that.
I can't understand. Hear what you're saying. Anyway, openly or less openly, this plan, they're going ahead with this plan. See? So that is long term. We have no control, but they're big demonic plans. But if we actually are devotees, then we should follow the words of the representative of God, the Acharya. And so Prabhupada has instructed that we should learn how to live depending on nature and Krishna, rather than on the factories that produce food that is more or less artificial, genetically modified food, so, many of which are actually deadly poison. So, this is the background, the principle behind many of the incarnations, and they're practically relevant to our own life, because in the present world the demonic bankers and financiers and those who govern, they want to execute these plans that to reduce the population, or being atheistic, to abolish, to curb those who in their view still talk religious talk. In America, in Ukraine also, there's some monastery that the Moguls, the Huns, different marauding empires over the centuries, they have not touched them. But now, the Ukrainians, they want to demolish this monastery. Christian monastery has been there for maybe 1,000 years. Because they're so demonic, they're so materialistic. You don't hear about these things because the The media is owned by also demonic individuals, so materialistic. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna explains, describes the qualities of the demons. Lusty, they have uncontrollable greed. They don't know what is right and what is wrong, and they are ruling. So, in modern terminology, you would say demonic. What? Yes, demonic. So it's nice we're doing some kirtan and distributing a few books, but our capacity is limited. Our numbers are very limited, and and our enthusiasm is limited, I think, also. I heard the amplifier, I could hear the leader, but the background, the 15, 20 people, and all I can hear was a very low sound. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So you must, that is not good. You have to cultivate enthusiasm. This is reality. In Kali Yuga, Nama Rupa Krishna Avatar. That in Kali Yuga, the holy name, Hare Krishna mantra, is avatar. So it's nice that you come and you help and organize a festival to celebrate the avatar Narasimha, but here is the avatar that you can glorify every day. We do once a week, that is nice, but it can be done every day. In the beginning of the movement, we used to go out every day for some time, in some temples for hours. So our practice of Krishna consciousness should not deteriorate to becoming, as that young lady I saw in the news say, a way of life. It's a way of life automatically. We don't have to separately endeavor to organize our way of life. If we follow the Acharya's instruction, if Prabhupada told us at that time, go out every day for as long as possible, we did it. 3, 4, 5 hours in the street. Okay? So our way of life was, we didn't have to, to strain our brain to develop a way of life, because you had the natural necessities. You had to have breakfast, you had to have some midday meal, and you had to have something in the evening. You had to take some rest. So we arranged that all available other time was spent chanting Hare Krishna, just as we are chanting, and distributing books or magazines. And that is how the movement has spread all over the world. So Krishna is very pleased with those who performed that sacrifice. So we should appreciate that and practice and go out and perform kirtan with enthusiasm. It's a sacrifice. If you hire a priest to perform a yajna for a wedding or something, if he says Shama, Shama, he will say, hey, What is that? And you won't want to pay him. Krishna hears everything. We have to. So if he chants very enthusiastically, he may be a materialist, but he's chanting very. Then you'll be very happy. Oh, that Purohit was chanting very nicely. Very happy to pay him his dakshina. See? So, in the case of chanting of Hare Krishna, it is not a Vedic mantra, like the ritualistic that these Purohits chant at rituals. It is Yuga Dharma. So we should understand that and chant. If we don't have enthusiasm, we should create it. But we should have faith, that's the point. Adao Shraddha. If you don't believe that chanting Hare Krishna is actually the means of spiritual realization, is the means by which we can achieve liberation, moksha. If you don't understand, then that's not good. You should understand that it's the case. And why should we accept that it's the case? We can see the example. The Prabhupada, he had a business, but he gave it up. He had a family, he gave it up. What did he have? He had only the conviction that chanting is the Dharma. He had faith in the process given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that made him do everything that he did. By himself, without money, going to a foreign world, at advanced age. So we have to learn from that example. Maybe it's a lifetime's work, but it's not a waste. A materialistic endeavor, building a skyscraper, might take a lifetime, and ultimately you have no result, no benefit. But cultivating faith in the chanting, that brings real benefit. Real benefit means liberation. The material world is, by definition, is a place of misery. What is the verse? Shara Vidyajal. Material body is a lump of ignorance, and the material world is a big lump of ignorance. It may be very beautiful flowers and birds and trees, but that is to allure. You know, there's some animals that build traps. There's a plant with a nice flower and attracts the insect, and the insect goes in and the plant goes pump and eats the insect. So the material world is like that. It appears very attractive. Of course, in some cases, we see here palm trees. They are like, they're from the spiritual world. So that is very pleasing. But still, the material deluding potency is so strong that the benefit of the palm trees will be absent. Instead, you will be attracted to something on the internet, something on the TV, and you will apply for an IT job and suffer the karma. Okay? Better to grow coconuts. You have 3 crores of rupees in the bank. Why think of opening a IT office building? Why not buy some land and grow coconuts? Be very happy. Coconut is a very beautiful tree, and other trees are producing fruit and flowers. So we should, as a regular daily function, we should listen to talks on these topics. Very easy. Prabhupada has spoken hundreds of hours in lectures and conversations, and he has sung for dozens of hours transcendental sound. His talks are also transcendental sound, and especially his singing, and very easy to avail. So we should listen and make progress. That practice of Krishna consciousness should not be kind of, it should be spiritual, and the motive should be spiritual, not it should not degrade to ritualistic act. Oh, every Friday we go to the temple, you meet people. They said, oh, you are Hare Krishna? I say, yes, I'm Hare Krishna. Oh, I go every fortnight, I go to Abbott's, something like that. What did they do there? Is the temple management? The temple is for giving people opportunity to hear spiritual vibration. Are they executing their responsibility? In many cases, no. They're busy expanding the properties, collecting money, and neglecting the standards, the quality of kirtan, the qualification of the speakers who are giving class, neglecting. That's not good. So the temple becomes, Prabhupada said, instead of, I forget the word, golograha. What does golograha means? Instead of a holy place, it becomes a place for the pigeons to come and live. What does golograha mean? No pundits here. So we should make our only ambition to become actual devotees. And then we will be protected. It's like Prahlad Maharaj was protected. And we should arrange our activities to increase the spiritual and minimize the material. Material means eating, sleeping, mating, defending. These are to be reduced. Eating, we offer with faith and devotion, we offer to the deity, so that is taken care of, we get purified. So we have to cultivate that understanding. Sleeping, if we eat too much, then we sleep too much. So we should minimize our eating, especially at night. Then we sleep less, then we can have more time to engage in Krishna conscious activity. Shravanam, Kirtanam, the beginning. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu. Then all activities, the material aspect should be, we should constantly think and act to reduce the material aspect and increase the spiritual aspect. And we can think of accept Prahlad Maharaj as the example. And so qualified. When anybody cares about a 5-year-old boy? But he was so qualified that Lord himself came to his support. We should think of that. We should think that is the actual significance of celebrating, the actual purpose of observing Nishinga Chaturtiti. And all of our festivals are like that. So thank you very much. Any questions or comments? Hare Krishna, Hare
Grace Rasananda Prabhu ki.
Yeah.